Hello everyone, hope you're doing well, enjoying the bank holiday today, whether you've been having a barbecue, a few drinks, or just sat in the house not doing anything really. Hope you've enjoyed it. So, Jesse Lingard. I know, it's been covered by lots of different people, blah blah blah. I'll be honest with you, I've been saving it. I thought when the season finished kind of thing and Jesse was out of form, and then obviously we've been like with Mateus Pereira, West Brom, the Lingard video was obvious to do back then, and I thought I'm just going to wait because at some point the content ideas for videos will be quite slim. So I'll use the Jesse Lingard thing. So here I am on Bank Holiday Monday when there's not much to talk about, pulling out my Jesse Lingard card. But don't worry, we've got some videos lined up for the rest of the week actually, so I think today is the only desperate day. So allow it, please. Anyway, Jesse Lingard, 16 appearances, 9 goals, 4 assists. What a signing he was. Joined us when we were in European football, helped us secure European football. There's no doubt about his influence since he joined West Ham either. But I guess the question is, how much can we pay? Will we get him? Has he said goodbye? And who pinched his watch? Who stole Jesse Lingard's watch from the London Stadium? That's the question that needs answered. I don't have any answers. I've only got opinions. Not on who stole the watch. I've got no opinions on who stole the watch. I do not know who pinched it, alright? We'll find out within time, pun intended, who pinched it. But I don't have an opinion. But anyway, let's talk about on the pitch rather than off the pitch in the changing rooms during the Everton game when someone nicked Jesse Lingard's watch. He was magnificent. I think it's difficult for me. I've touched on this a couple of times, but I guess I've never really got into it so much. So I'm going to do it in this video. And that is when I feel the difference between the second half of the season with West Ham and the first half. While there was still consistencies in the sense that we struggled against the top 6, we struggled to beat down teams that had 3 centre-backs and said, what are you going to do? Our answer was, not very much. We're going to keep crossing and you're going to keep knocking away again. So there was some consistencies. But the one thing I felt was different, that was significantly different, was the formation. I felt in the first half we kept switching between 3 at the back and 4 at the back, and that was down to availability of players, in particular Arthur Masuaku if he was available. We tend to play wing backs. If he was unavailable, we sort of had to be forced to go to 4. Now, I'll never know the answer to this, given that Masuaku was injured most of the time that Lingard was here. But I do think if Masuaku was available, we would have stuck with 4 at the back. The reason for that is Jesse Lingard. I think in the first half of the season I was impressed by how we played as a team. I felt that we had more goals throughout the side. Souček was scoring plenty of goals, Antonio was chipping in, Jared Bowen was getting goals. We had goals all over the starting 11 essentially. Even the centre backs were getting involved kind of thing. But when Jesse came, I felt that the source of goals, if you like, changed. There was predominantly Jesse Lingard. He either got the goal or he got the assist or he got the pre-assist. I know it's not really a thing, but my point is he was involved in most of the goals. A lot of the goals come from or through Jesse Lingard. And we changed formation in order to accommodate him. We played 4-2-3-1 quite often before Jesse, of course, but we'd often switch back kind of thing. I never felt that we would switch back with Jesse in the side. I always felt that Moyes would have him in the team sheet alongside, Rice, Souček, Ogbonna, Creswell, Fabianski, Soufal, and work around that. We'll pick another centre-back, depends on the formation. We'll pick 2 attacking midfielders and Antonio up front kind of thing. And it worked. It worked. I think sometimes when games against like Everton and Brighton, when Jesse Lingard played and perhaps didn't play particularly well, or it was too quiet and we struggled, and there was a lot of criticism for Jesse. And I think that's why, because you build your team around Jesse Lingard. It's a case of, well, if you don't turn up, if you're not going to turn up, we're going to struggle, because our whole game plan is based on you being the main man. A bit like what Bruno Fernandes does at Manchester United, like what Jack Grealish does at Aston Villa. And I don't think there's a problem with that if they're good enough. And I think Jesse Lingard is good enough. That doesn't mean that other players don't do anything kind of thing. Of course they do. Ben Rama chipped in, Fernandes chips in, Bowen chips in, Antonio, Souček kind of thing. But Jesse Lingard was very much the main man. Do I have an issue with it? I don't have an issue with it. My only worry would be next season. It's not so much do we need Jesse Lingard. My answer is yes. By the way, 100% yes. I think he's someone that I would love to see in real life when we are at the stadium next season. I would love to see Jesse Lingard playing for West Ham. I think he's the type of player that can play quiet for 80 minutes of the game and turn up for 10, but in that 10 minutes he can produce something that leads to or even gets a goal himself. He can win you points. He wins points on his own. And that's not something you can say about all the players in our squad. And that's not a bad thing, but that's something I can attribute to Jesse Lingard. So 100% I want to see Jesse at West Ham next season. His quiet games don't put me off whatsoever, because look at his return. 9 goals in 16 games is ridiculous, okay? It's just absolutely ridiculous for him. And everybody had quiet spells during the season. Souček was quiet at various points. May win Ham of the Year. He had some quiet games as well. Declan Rice had some quiet games. Soufal was probably the only one that did not have a poor or quiet game, okay? He had a bad game against Man United. I say a bad game. He wasn't bad. Man United were just better than him. Rashford and Luke Shaw doubled up on him. Apart from that, don't remember an iffy performance from him. My point is, he's going to have those games, and that's okay. That's when others need to step up. My concern next season would be if Jesse Lingard was here and we continue with 4-2-3-1, would be what would we do if Jesse was unavailable? If Jesse Lingard was injured or suspended for whatever reason, do we change formation? Do we put him in there? Kind of thing. And can he play in a 3-4-3? That's the sort of the other question as well, because we know Moyes likes 3 at the back occasionally. Masuaku left wing back. That would mean Lingard plays in a front 3 and has a lot of defensive duty to do usually. Can we get that out of him? I'm not so sure. Does he track back? Does he run back? I've seen him do it. Usually when he loses the ball though. I've seen him be a bit lazy on times when someone else loses the ball. I've seen him often stop as if to say, well, I'm not going to bother with that because you've lost the ball. It's your fault. You get after it and I'm just going to stay here, kind of thing. So I do have concerns with that. What I will say he's changed massively for me is, remember the defeat against Man City, and we played, in my opinion, I thought we played fantastic away to the Man City at the Etihad, and it was the first time I felt that we even touched the top 6 side. You know, prior to that I thought we were bad against top 6 teams next season. I don't want to get too negative. You know, we've had a fantastic season, but it's an observation. I say an observation, it's a fact. Our record against top 6 is not good enough. But I felt that when we had Jesse in the side that game, he was one of the players that said, I don't care we're playing Man City, you give me the ball, I'll turn and run at them, we will get up the pitch, kind of thing. And I felt like he perhaps had a different mentality to a lot of the players in our team for that game and other games as well that's gone past and stuff. And that's something you can't always buy, and it's obviously a product of playing for Man United, that of course he's going to have this winner's mentality, this attacking ethos in him, and I felt I saw that at West Ham, and I like that too. But I guess the question is, will we get him? I think so. He done an Instagram post, and a lot of people have suggested it's a goodbye post. I've read it twice, and I see what it is. It's a player that's enjoyed his time at West Ham, but is contracted to Man United, might be back at West Ham, he might not be back at West Ham. I think it's a player that's paid his respects to West Ham while being respectful to Manchester United, just in case he's there next season, kind of thing. That's how I read it. I read it as, I've enjoyed my time there, might be back, but if I'm not, thank you very much. Love my time, looking forward to Man United again. He is a Man United fan at the end of the day. It'll be interesting to see if he gets into the final squad for England. I think he will. I do think he'll get into that squad. I've looked at it, and obviously Southgate's got to make some changes. He's got to drop some players. Injury may force his hand with 1 or 2. But, you know, a keeper's going to go. The likes of Conor Cody's probably going to go. Jesse may and probably will retain his place in that 26-man squad for the Euros. That's massive. And you just hope, when he joined, Jesse Lingard joined West Ham, he spoke to Gareth Southgate, or Gareth Southgate spoke to him rather, and basically said to him, go to West Ham, play your games there, and you know, we'll see what happens, kind of thing. He's got back in the England squad. I just hope that he maybe uses Southgate again for advice. I actually think Southgate's advice would be, well, I need you playing football, you're doing that at West Ham, get back to West Ham and play your football there. And then the question doesn't necessarily come down to, will we get him? It's money, isn't it? There's an article today or yesterday, whatever day it was, saying that David Moyes wants Jesse Lingard and Tammy Abraham, and he reckons 40 to 45 million for the pair of them would be a fair fee. Can't disagree with that. I think that would be a fair fee. I think it would be quite cheap actually. I think in 20 for Jesse and 30 for Tammy, I think would be a good price. I know apparently we're going to go up to 35 million for the striker if we can get the striker that Moyes wants, whoever that is. It is suggested it's still Tammy Abraham. But that's a lot of money. Then how much is Jesse Lingard, I guess? And I think 20 to 25 million is a fair price. Nothing more than 25. I'd be surprised we've gone for less than 20. So in that ballpark area. But I guess the question is, can you then get better than Jesse for that price? The answer is yes. You can. Who is it? I don't know. I'm not a football scout, I'm not a football expert. I'm just an opinionated West Ham fan that does that on webcam to people like yourselves. And so I don't know who the answer is or what the answer is, but the reason I say yes is because there is better players out there than Jesse Lingard for 20 million, isn't there? It's a bit like if you looked at Yuri Tielemans a year ago and you said, is there a better midfielder out there than him for 30 million? You'd have looked at it, oh, maybe you'd have said yes. Well, Souček arguably is. We found out 60 million. So there is out there, but that's not the question. The question is, will he do it for West Ham? Will the player that we may choose as an alternative Jesse Lingard fit in at West Ham? Will he fit David Moyes? Will Moyes suit him? Will we be able to get the best out of that player? Because we've seen the best out of Jesse at West Ham. Can we get the best out of the player? And that is where the answer becomes, I don't know. And that's the risk, isn't it? If you go for someone cheaper or the same price, but whether it's younger or whatever, you're then increasing the element of risk, aren't you? Jesse is a pretty safe bet. Jesse Lingard is a safe bet. We know he likes West Ham. We know West Ham like him. He gets on with the players, loses watches, but as long as he's willing to look past that, then he will fit into the changing room. As long as he brings some sort of like security box with him next season, he'll be fine. But the other guy, we don't know. Mateus Pereira is one of the players we've been linked to, or should I say the only player we've been linked to as an alternative. There's a lack of attacking midfielders being linked to in terms of sort of not being too sure we're going to sign Jesse. I think Pereira is a fantastic player, I do. If I had to pick between Jesse and Mateus, I'd pick Jesse. However, I think Mateus Pereira would be a fantastic alternative to Jesse Lingard. If we were to sign Pereira instead of Lingard, I wouldn't be too upset about it, put it like that. I think he's also a terrific footballer. But I don't know. And you guys let us know what you want to see with Jesse Lingard. Do you think we'll sign him? Do you want to sign him? How much will you pay for him, kind of thing? It's coming up this week. We've got a few different videos. I'm going to do a video tomorrow morning, then there's another one tomorrow night. Now tomorrow morning is like a Hammers Chat update, so it's a bit of a boring one. It'll only be 4 or 5 minutes long, so don't watch it if you don't want to. But tomorrow night, 6 o'clock on the main channel here, 6 o'clock tomorrow night, we're doing a community video. Remember, we've done those before. We've done it with like transfer value and something else, where we come with a topic and we use the live chat to put the players in their sort of ranking in the tier list. We're doing another tier list video tomorrow night with the community, so we'll be live at 6 PM, so we need as many of you along as possible in order to make the video work. It won't work if people don't turn up. So if you're free between 6 and 6:45 tomorrow and you feel like interacting with us, please come along. It'll be much appreciated. Anyway, that's my desperate video done. Basically, I like Jesse Lingard a lot. I would love to see him at West Ham. I think 20-25 million is a fair price. However, if we don't get him, I think there's other players out there that would do the job. But will they do the job? I'm not too sure. Jesse, I think he would do the job. Anyway, I'm going to disappear. I'm off to enjoy the rest of my bank holiday. I hope you guys do too. If you enjoyed this video, drop a like on it. Subscribe if you're new to the channel. And I'll catch you tomorrow morning. See you in a bit.